is such a character.
Yeah. Permanent ambassador to the UN, what will be your priorities? What will you do?
Actually, I'm not sure, but I think my priorities will definitely be to see what's on the agenda of the UN. It may not be as dramatic as people think, because if you're not called on to comment, I don't think you should comment. Or you can. I don't even think
Yeah.
you're allowed to. You're given the floor.
But given that worldwide we have issues, I mean, the world is looking at us because of the number of extrajudicial
That's right.
killings. You're
Okay.
bound to be speaking.
Well, first, I have to explain it. That we have a president, as I've tried to explain, who takes what he reads and learns about the world very seriously. I've read exactly the same things. I'm almost the same age, and I remember reading Little Brown Brother by Leon Wolf, Sitting in Darkness, all of this about the American atrocities, and of course, my words are awful, and I hope I can change. You know, I don't think having bad language is a good thing. I hope I can change, and I certainly will make an effort. When Cory was alive and my parents, I never used a bad word, but the finger I could not control.
Okay.
But he takes them seriously. He's one guy. Me, I read the same things. I would be angry then.
Yeah, but then
But these old people, like my father, like him, when they read the truth and it's so bad, they don't forget and they act based on it. Me, I got jaded and I said, oh well, so the Americans killed so many, well, that's life. Then I go on. But there are people who don't go on, and Duterte is one of them. You commit a crime. Europe allowed the killing of
but
50
you
million.
get defense when it comes to the UN. Is that what you'll be doing?
Actually, I'm not worried about that because I can explain I cannot justify, but I can explain why he says things like
Yeah.
that. And I think Europe will have to accept it. Most recently, as I will tell in my editorial tonight, Europe, Europe through Germany, which controls Europe today, has destroyed the country of Greece and reduced them to complete poverty as a lesson to the rest of Europe. This is what we treat people who don't follow our dictates. Okay. You're going to tell us? I mean, there are how many million Greeks that you have impoverished? This is a police campaign.
So in other words, you're gonna go on the President Duterte line that before you teach us a lesson,
Yeah.
fix your own backyard.
Okay, that's correct. I'm glad you said I'm going to use those words. Because
In the EU.
yeah, no, because I know one thing. When I grew up, I was reading about the debate between Albert Camus and Jean-Paul Sartre on who was worse, the Soviets with their concentration camps or the West with their colonial wars and exterminations. And one of them said to the other, Jesus, are we reduced to throwing bodies at each other as arguments? I have never forgotten that. So I'm not comfortable with saying, oh, you killed more than we killed.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the world being what it is, I may have to say that.
All right. We're going to continue our conversation with Philippine Ambassador.